Hello my beautiful and amazing people, how are you all doing? I hope you guys are doing well. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how I made this delicious, tasty, yummy and flavorful ayamase sauce. These two taste so delicious and so amazing. Like, can you see how it looks? That is exactly how it tastes. Trust me guys. So this recipe is super easy and simple to put together. We don't need too much ingredients to make this, and you can add this to one of your Christmas food menu and your family will absolutely love this recipe. So we are going to go straight to the ingredients, and if you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and share this video as well. I'll see you guys in my next video. Okay guys, so for my ingredients I'll be using 5 green bell peppers, as you can see here, and I've got 2 long green chili peppers. I've got 1 green scotch bonnet, 1 red scotch bonnet, about this size of ginger, and then I've got my onion. You can use white onion if that's what you have, it doesn't have to be this color. And over here I've got different types of meat. I've got shaki, goat meat, the goat intestine. Like, I have my assorted meat here. I don't have chicken here and I don't have turkey either, but if you want you can add some smoked turkey to it. It takes the taste to another level. So if you have smoked turkey, just add it to it. But this is what I've got and this is what I'll be using. And here I've got my hard-boiled egg. I've got about 6 pieces of the hard-boiled eggs. So we are going to be adding the eggs at the end, like after making the stew we use it to garnish the stew. That's basically the reason for the eggs. Here I've got some crayfish and about this size of ogiri okpei. I don't have locust beans, which is called iru. I don't have that, so I'm going to be adding ogiri okpei instead of the locust beans. But if you have locust beans, just make use of it because that's the original ingredient for this stew. So for the crayfish, I've got about 3 tablespoons of the crayfish. I'm going to be adding this meat seasoning. I'll use it to season my meat. And here is my Aromat. I'm going to be adding Aromat, but if you don't have Aromat you can add some seasoning cubes. I have my salt, and finally for the ingredients I'll be using red palm oil. So I'm going to cut my onion into 2. I'll be using 1/2 to boil the meat, and then I will use the other half to fry the stew. Now I'm going to be adding just a little bit of water to the meat. We don't need too much water. Okay, that's enough. Now I'm going to cover the pot and place it on the gas cooker. I'm going to cook this for about 10 to 15 minutes or until the meat is properly cooked. Okay guys, so while the meat is cooking I'm going to cut up my peppers and blend them. So I've already washed them. Now I'm going to slice the remaining half of the onion. And these are the peppers. I've cut them into tiny pieces, so I'm going to add just a tiny bit of water to help my blender. I don't usually add water to this, but I'm going to be adding water to this particular one just because it's too much. But if you have a food processor, that will make the work much more easier for you, because I will still be draining the water later. Can you see where the water is? Just about that much, not too much. So I'm going to cover it and roughly blend it. We are not going to blend it to be too smooth, just roughly. That's why it's important to use a food processor to do this, because it will give you that texture we are going for. Okay guys, before I continue with my blending, I just want to quickly say, if you want to get that texture, that roughly blended texture I'm talking about, you just have to use the lower speed, like the lowest speed on your blender. So that's what I'm doing now. All right, just take a look at that blender now. Can you see how there are some tiny chunks in the peppers? So that's exactly what I'm talking about. But if you want it to be very smooth, then you can blend it until it's smooth to your liking. Okay, it's just that I prefer it roughly blended. So now I'm going to drain the excess water. Okay guys, so as you can see now, the meat is cooked. So the next step now is to fry the meat. Now this step is totally optional. Okay, if you don't want to fry the meat, you can choose not to fry it, but personally I would like to fry the meat just because I want it to add extra flavor and taste to my stew. Okay, now to fry the meat, I'm going to be using my red palm oil. So usually we do leave the oil to bleach for some minutes just to turn like that vegetable oil color. But because I'm going to be frying the meat, I don't need to bleach the palm oil. So by the time I'm done frying the meat, the oil would have changed color. So then I get my bleached palm oil. Okay. So that's the trick. I'm going to be adding a generous amount of the palm oil. I think this is enough. So I'm going to leave it to get hot a bit, then I will start frying the meat. So as you can see here, I did not fry the shaki, which is tripe, because I don't want it to be dry. I just want it to be soft and tender. But if you want, you can fry your shaki. I just want to quickly say that when you're frying the meat, make sure to cover your pot with the pot lid, just because it's going to be splashing all over the kitchen and that's not what you want. So as you can see, I covered mine. Like, can you see the top of the lid? If I didn't cover it, probably this would have splashed all over the kitchen. So that's why you need to cover your pot when you are frying the meat. And then when you want to check on the meat, you can just turn the heat to very low, give it some seconds to calm down, and then you can just stir it around, cover the pot again, and turn your heat to medium or high depending on what temperature you're frying the meat on. So guys, as you can see, I just finished frying the meat and I took it out from the oil. So now to that same oil, I'm going to be adding my my sliced onion. You remember the other half of the sliced onion. Now if you think that the oil is too much for you, this is the time to take out some of the oil, but this is perfectly okay for me. So I'm going to be throwing in the sliced onion. Added my crayfish and the ogiri okpei. Now it's time to add the blended peppers. So I'm going to fry this until the oil comes back, like settles on top of the peppers again. Like once it's dry, you will definitely know. So I'm going to fry the peppers until they are really fried. Okay guys, so the peppers have fried enough to my liking. The frying should take you approximately 10 to 15 minutes. So right now mine is properly fried, so I'm going to add back the fried meat. Add the shaki. Now I'm going to be adding some of the liquid I got from blending the peppers. I already took most of the liquid out, so this is what I've got left. I'm going to taste it before I start adding more seasoning. Oh wow, surprisingly the seasoning I used to cook the meat is okay for me, so I don't need to add any more seasoning, and I don't also need to add more salt. I'm even surprised because I thought I was still going to add some seasoning and salt to this, but right now it tastes amazing. Like the taste is okay for me. So I'm going to add just a tiny bit of water to this. Now if you want to add water, you can add water depending on the consistency you want, how light or thick you want it. So mine is very thick. Now I'm going to add a little bit of water to it. I'm going to taste it again just to be very sure. Wow, it's okay. I don't need to add anything, but please taste yours. If you think you need to add more seasoning and salt, you can go ahead and do that, but mine is perfectly okay. So I'm going to cover the pot now and let this cook on a low heat for 10 minutes. Alright, so after cooking on a low heat for about 10 minutes, I'm going to add the hard-boiled eggs. That should come last. As you guys can see, we are done, and this looks so delicious. Like, I can't wait to dive in. It smells and tastes amazing. You need to try this method. Like, your family will thank you and they will come for more. Just add this to your Christmas menu and they are absolutely going to love it. So that's it guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and oh, before I forget, you can serve this over white rice, you can serve it over white boiled pasta, you can eat it with boiled yam, boiled plantain, anything you feel like eating it with. Okay, as for me, I'm going to be serving mine with some delicious boiled rice. So I hope you guys try this recipe and let me know what you think about it. You can snap a picture of yours and tag me on Instagram at Fantastic Favor.